In this video, we will going to take up the print function. How I can use the print function in a Python program. The print function displays the string value inside its parenthesis on the screen. So that means whatever you type within the parenthesis will be considered with a string value. For example, you can take print hello world. You can observe here the print is a function where within parentheses you have hello world having single quote opening and single quote closing. Similarly, print within parentheses with open and close string value, what is your name? So these two will going to display the output whatever it is there in the string or in the quotes. The line print hello world means print out the text in the string hello world. This is one thing. When Python executes this line, you say that Python is calling the print function and the string value is being passed to the function. This is the meaning of this. So here, when Python executes this line, you say that Python is calling the print function. You are calling the print function here, print within print function, and the string value is being passed to the function. What is the string value? Hello world is string hello world is the string value is passed to the function print. A value that is passed to a function call is an argument. So that means whatever it is there here is an argument. Notice that the quotes are not printed on the screen. They just mark where the string begins and ends. They are not part of the string value. Now let us see how it will going to be executed by using the Python code. So I will say print, I will say within quotes hello world exclamatory mark. Suppose if I want to run this, you are going to get it as hello world, but see that here you will not be able to see the string quotes which is within single quotes. So whatever it is there within that string is being printed here. So similarly, if you want to go for what is your name, I will go for print. I will say print. Then I will type what is your name. So whatever it is there within the single quotes will going to be printed on your screen without considering the single quote opening and closing. You can see here we have used the two print functions. So one is the print and the other one is print hello world and the other one is print what is your name. So that is the reason why it is being printed both hello world and what is your name. Input function waits for the user to type some text on the keyboard and press enter. The input function waits for the user to type some text on the keyboard and press enter key. So that means whenever if I want to give an input through the console or from the keyboard, you have to give an input function. For example, if I say my name equals input and open and close the function. So this function call evaluates a string equal to the user's text, and the line of code assigns the my name variable to the string value. You can think of the input function call as an expression that evaluates to whatever the string the user typed in. If the user entered Ramesh as a string, then expression would evaluate my name is equal to Ramesh. So here we are going to see how it will going to be considered. Now here I will say print. Now I will say my name equals input. Okay. Now if I try to run this, so here it is expecting the value to be printed now. What is the input function? I am giving the input as here it is trying to execute this, but I have not given any string within the input function. So that is the reason why it is not getting displayed anything here. Now if I want to say, I will say Ramesh, it will take. But I have not, whether it has been taken it or not, which I don't know. Now what I should do, I want to type, I want to print that variable. So here I will say print, okay, my name. Let us see what it happens now. So here you will say, I will say Ramesh. So what it does, it will going to print my name, which is equal to Ramesh. So that means whatever you give the input here, it will be considered, and that value is being assigned to my name. I am printing that value here. In this case, one is for giving the input through the console, that is through the keyboard, and whatever you give the value here, that will be displayed or printed out in the next line. So this is how you will be able to execute this. Now we will go for the further with printing the user's name. So what does it mean? Print, it is good to meet you, comma, and then give one space plus my name. So whatever the value you give it to my name, that will be printed here. So what does it mean? Remember that expression can always evaluate to a single value. Which is an expression here? It is good to meet you, comma, is one string, plus concatenating the string here, plus my name. My name, whatever the value you gave, that will be considered as my name. So since it is that is also a string, so therefore you will be able to get the it is good to meet you, concatenate the two values Ramesh. So if Ramesh is the value stored in my name online, then this expression evaluates to it's good to meet you, comma, Ramesh. This single string value is then passed to a print which prints on the screen. So this is how you will be able to get the desired output. Now we will going to see how it will going to be considered. So I will consider print my name is the input. Then I will say I go for the print function. It is good to meet you, comma. Now print it is good to meet you. It is good to meet you, comma. Then add my name. Now we are going to give it like this. See what happens. I will go for the running of this program. I will say Ramesh. Then it says it is good to meet you, comma, Ramesh. Why it will going to give you this? Because even though I have not given the Ramesh here, so it will going to print this. Why I have to give it like this? This is the one more expression. Do I need to give like this every time? No, it's not required. Suppose if I say I will consider this, I am going to skip this slash. Now I cannot use this. Suppose it is good to meet you, I will say it is good to meet you, comma, Ramesh. Close it. Now if I run, it is good to meet you, Ramesh. Again I will try to run this. It is good to meet you, Ramesh. Again if I go to print, it is good to meet you, Ramesh. So that means whenever you run this program, since you have a print function, so whatever it is there in the codes will going to be printed directly. So it is good to meet you, Ramesh. So every time it takes the same value because this has been used as a single expression. Now if I want, it is good to meet you, Ramesh, one time. It is good to meet you, Chandan. It is good to meet you. Some other name if you want to give. Then what I should do now? I have to declare that as a variable, as an input. Now here, then I will say, I will come out of this. Then I will say Ramesh. So here I will take my name. Now when you try to run this, you can see first time when you run, you will going to get Ramesh, print, it is good to meet you Ramesh. Next I will say Chandru. So it is good to meet you Chandru. Then I will say again I want to run. Then I will say Partha. It is good to meet you Partha. So that means as and when I change the input, the value whatever it has been changed, which has been assigned to my name, since you are calling this variable here in Python in an input function, always it takes as a string. Even though we don't give it as a string, it will going to take that. Suppose if I say, I will say 42. So what is that? It is good to meet you, comma 42. Why it has been taken 42? Even though you are giving an integer value, but it concatenates that also here. Why? That is because in Python always the input is taken it as a string. I can concatenate the two strings. Yes, it is possible. I cannot multiply a string with a string. It is not possible. So that is the basic difference. So that is the reason why when you give plus my name, when you give the value as 42, it is good to meet you, comma 42, it will go to take. That is basically because in Python, whatever the input you give, that will be always considered as a string. So this is how you will be able to explain the printing the value of the two strings by considering the concatenation.